Hello, we are live. Nobody's here yet. Another kind of impromptu. I don't know what happened here, but suddenly everything is moved. We're going to just readjust things here a little bit. I'm not sure what happened to my setup here, but suddenly the flag is way out of center, and it's been this way lately. I don't know what's going on. It's kind of annoying. I have no idea what's going on here. It's like someone moved my entire room around. We'll just go with that, I guess. That'll have to work. Not sure what suddenly happened. I got moved everything to the left or to the right. Hey, we got somebody here. All right. How's it going? It is, I'm losing track of the days. It's Thursday, I think. Thursday morning here in Superior, Nebraska. Sorry, guys. I thought I was ready, but of course, not as usual. How's everybody doing? Anybody having a good week? Anybody who's stuck home and who's actually working and stuff? I've been working quite a bit, luckily for me. So we got a couple people. I was going to do a tiny little small project on the car today, but the temperature is going to be only like 50 today here in southern Nebraska. So I do believe I'm going to put it off. Not that I'm worried about that for myself, but the project requires a little bit of a higher temperature. So I'm not going to tell you what it is. I was going to try to let you guys guess on that last video. So it's nothing major, very minor, tiny little thing, but I do need it to be, I think about 60 degrees or so before I can actually perform this operation. So we're going to wait, and I was going to do it yesterday, but I ended up working 15 hours yesterday, and therefore didn't get done yesterday. We had a really nice day. I think it got up to like 80, which was wonderful and great and all that stuff, except that I was driving in a van all day and didn't get to really enjoy it much, but still okay. I still like the warm weather. I still like the springtime weather is great no matter what. It doesn't really matter what you're doing. I'll take it. I'm very thankful for yesterday. Fortunately, today we had about a 30-degree drop, so that is okay. You know, it's that time of year, especially if you guys live somewhere like where I live here in the Midwest or in the West, or there's a lot of places around the country that are like that. This time of year, you can get some pretty good fluctuations in weather and temperature and be 80, and then it can be, 45, or it can snow, and then it can rain and have lightning. You just never know what you're going to get this time of year. Spring and fall are kind of that way here. So it's just what we do here in Nebraska and Kansas and this area of the country. And lots of, like I said, I'm sure a lot of you people can identify with that out there and wherever you live. I know one of those things you hear just about every part of the country has that little saying where, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes or wait an hour or whatever. They say that everywhere. They used to always say that in Colorado, and they say it here in Nebraska. And I hear other people say it from pretty much any area of the country. They say, if you don't like the weather, just wait a little while, it'll change. Everyone thinks that they have the strange weather, but I think it's just, we all think that about where we live, but something gives us something to, it's like I see a lot of posts on Facebook, and it'll be like a picture of a tractor driving down the street or something, and it'll say only in Nebraska. It's like, no, you can see that in Iowa and Indiana and Kansas and a whole bunch of other places. And probably just about every state in the union, you can see a tractor driving down the highway. I mean, it's just maybe not an everyday occurrence, but speaking of driving, I've been driving the heck out of that Ford that I drive for work. Been driving quite a bit, working quite a bit, which is great. I was worried that this stuff might cause us not to work, but so far it's actually, I think things have picked up just a little bit, at least for me. On the other hand, my Challenger is sitting in the garage, and I'm trying to think. We took it out. What day did I make that video, guys? Tuesday? I think we took it out Tuesday, made a little bit of video, went grocery shopping, used it for the grocery getter, and I think it's been in there since the end of that video. I don't think we've gotten it back out. Anybody got any cool car stuff going on out there? So we got a few people watching. Somebody can talk if they want. Anybody got anything at all car wise? I know there's really not any shows or meets or anything like that going on, or racing or anything, because of this crazy situation we're in. Hopefully that's going to wind up soon. I mean, I know it won't be soon, but sooner than later. Hopefully in a few weeks, maybe we can start doing some cool stuff. Even to try to do like a a video with another YouTuber or something right now is pretty much out of the question unless you made separate videos and joined them together somehow. But that wouldn't make a lot of sense. So it's kind of a strange situation trying to stay away from everybody. And in my job, I really can't stay away from everybody. I have to have people in the vehicle with me. So we are all kind of just part of the job. There's no way to drive people around without having them in the same vehicle with you, and you don't know these people, and they've been traveling all over the place, and they don't know me, and I've been traveling all over the place. So I'm sure it's the same for everybody in the car. Like, I guess we just got to do what we got to do. I tried to fashion one of those face masks out of a bandana, but when I'm live streaming, when I drive, I wear these glasses. And every time I put anything over anytime it fogs my glasses up, so I can't really drive like that. So I'm not sure what to do. If anybody has any suggestions, all the homemade type masks I've tried to make have immediately, boom, my glasses fog over and I can't see. And I pretty much got to have them to drive, and I got to have them to read the chat here, which I could probably take off because ain't nobody talking. God, come on, guys. So if anybody has any suggestions on how to keep them from fogging up, that would be great. I wouldn't mind wearing the mask. I know it would probably make my passengers feel more comfortable. I'm not particularly super paranoid about everything. If I get it, I get it. I think I'll survive. I know being sick would not be fun. It would probably be hell, but I also don't want to shut down my life and wear full protective body gear everywhere I go either. Gets to a point where I'm not sure that's a life worth having if you're going to have to live in a bubble, So I don't know, but if you have any suggestions for how I can keep my glasses from fogging up, I don't know if I'm not getting a good seal around here or whatever, because I'm doing just like the Surgeon General. I watched the video and I did it exactly that way. And then Kim tried making me one and everything. And it doesn't seem to work for me at all. So the fact that I'm getting the fogged up glasses is kind of telling me that it's not exactly maybe not working right either, So, oh, I'm coughing. What could that mean? Kind of a dry cough. No. I'm gonna just put it up here, and hopefully we'll get a few people in here. I don't think I've ever done one this early before. But I did want to do something for the channel today. Hey, Fat Boy, what's going on, man? What's going on? I haven't seen you in a while, man. How's everything down there? I've been going through there quite a bit. I was actually through there 3-4 times yesterday. Actually, not really through there. I was on my way to Abilene, so I exited there at 70. Went down there, came back, went down there, and came back. Not a lot of cars on the highway. Kind of weird, Hey, Jean-Paul, what's going up, man? How's it going? The old up there in the Great White North. Hopefully it's not white right now. How's everything up there? You guys doing okay? You guys staying isolated or whatever you want to call it? I'm assuming that's what we're trying to do here too. I've got, like I was telling them earlier, I got to be out a little bit. I don't have any. It's either that or not work. That's part of my job. Actually, my job's picked up during all this. But I had to go grocery shopping the other day, so I made it as absolutely quick as possible. Had a nice list, and the only place where I really had to stop and look around a little bit was in the meat section because I just didn't know what they'd have because everything's pretty picked over. Everything else, I had my list, and I ran through and threw it in the cart and got the heck out of there. That boy says everything's good. You're on your way to Hayes America. You're all good. Good. Yeah, food shopping only. Trying to stay away from everything as possible. Like I do sell things on eBay, so I had to go to the post office Monday. Trying to just really think about things before you do it. Like, how can I make this as short and simple as possible, and with the least amount of contact with the people. I'm in Nebraska, and we don't have there's no. They made the restaurants close down. They can only do carry out and dine, curb service or whatever they'll deliver and that kind of thing too. But we don't really have too many rules in place. We're one of the few states that don't have an official lockdown type situation. Governor's gotten quite a bit of criticism. I think I touched on this on the last video. he's getting quite a bit of criticism for not, you know, making it like, the rule of the law kind of thing. Here in the United States, each state can kind of make its own deal. We don't have like a federal over. In a way, there is, but mostly we have like states' rights where they can do what they want. So far, so good here in Nebraska. I think about 95% of people are kind of voluntarily doing it because they were smart enough to know what to do. You're always gonna have a few idiots, even if you like, clamp down on it and try to make people and force them to. You're gonna have that 5% of idiots who are gonna go out and do whatever they want anyways. Have a party at their house or something. But yeah, our governor's taking quite a bit of criticism for that. We're one of only a couple of states. So I'm kind of on the fence about that. Kind of, he makes some good points about personal responsibility and that, as you guys may have gathered through watching me, if you've watched me at all, that I'm not a big fan of big government or government control over our lives in any way. So uh, I kind of agree with him in some ways, but then on the other hand, in this situation, it's a little bit scary. It's a little surprising, I guess, more than anything. I just assumed we would be. When Kansas went to it a couple weeks ago, mandatory stay at home or whatever it was, I kind of figured we'd follow suit like the next day or a couple of days after that, but so far we have not. There's been a pretty good outbreak up in Grand Island, Nebraska, though. Meatpacking plant up there. Quite a few employees of the meatpacking plant have the virus, unfortunately, and a few other people. That's kind of the hot spot for Nebraska, I think, is Grand Island, which is I was actually working up there last weekend for 2 nights. Not at the meatpacking plant. So I got a small, tiny project coming on the car. I really need to get she drives that Tesla to work every day, about 60 miles up there and 60 miles back. And so, as you can imagine, it is dirty all the time. It's got a million bugs stuck to the front, which is a pain in the ass. It doesn't have a grill. The Teslas don't have like a grill up front. It's just flat in the front. It's got that kind of, well, you've probably seen it, but it's just a big bug catching. It's like putting a big wall up to just catch bugs. So it just collects the bugs like crazy. And I do have it protected with the Meguiar's ceramic hybrid wax. So they come off a little bit easier, but they're still a little tricky to get off. I may have to get some bug and tar remover, or I guess I've used WD-40 in the past with pretty good success without screwing up the paint on other cars. Anybody's got a better way, please let me know. Those things, I'm surprised we have this many bugs this soon. It seems a bit early to have that many bugs. I don't remember in past years having bug-covered cars until like May, but apparently either I'm not remembering correctly or they're showing up early this year. Same with our work vans. The windows, I got to pull over and clean the window a couple times a day just because you can barely see through it after a while. There's so many damn bugs. I had all kinds of problems with my work vehicle yesterday. There's a camera in there that if you set it off by either braking too hard or hitting a huge bump or getting an accident or something like that, it goes off and it records it's recording all the time, but it can show them like the last, I think 10 seconds and then the following 10 seconds after it's set off. So if there's an accident, they can determine what happened. But it goes off once in a while. I've had like some close calls with deer and stuff like that, and it'll go off because you slam on the brakes too hard. Or I've been off-roading in it quite a few times and hit a big, bump or something or hole, or it'll go off. But anyway, the camera fell down off the window. It's glued on there. It wouldn't go back up. And so it was hanging in there all day. Then there's a little phone computer type thing that we use app on it that we use to clock in and out and tell it what we're doing all the time and keep track of where we're at and why we're stopped and why we're moving and who's in the car. It stopped working on me, so I had to write everything down all days. It was one of them days, man. That boy says the bugs are showing up early. I kind of thought so, man. I don't know if it was my imagination, but I don't remember bugs this early in the year before being that thick. usually you get those first few weeks of spring that are kind of semi bug free and you can keep your car reasonably clean. But it seems like now it's like this year it's you drive down the highway a little ways and you got 150 bugs stuck to the front of your car. So yeah, that'll probably be a boost for the bug and tar cleaner industry around here. I think I'll go back to WD-40. If I remember last time I did it, it seemed like the WD-40 worked better than just about anything, even the products that were made for removing bugs and tar. So, and it doesn't seem to hurt the paint and comes back off and all that. So I think I'll just try that. The Tesla's especially bad. Like I said, it doesn't have a grill up front. It's just kind of got that front end on it that just, it's almost like it was meant to, it's like a catcher's glove. It's like meant to catch stuff. This is the first day I've had in about 4 days or so to just kind of do anything for myself or on my, where I just had so much stuff going on. I tried Friday night, of course, or Sunday night to do the live stream. I had to abort mission because my hard drive kept screwing up on my computer and shutting me down. After it was sucked because I promoted it and I set it all up and was getting ready to do it. And I literally, like within an hour before, it shut down twice, and it shut down once within a half an hour. And I was finally like, I'm not even going to try to do the live stream because this thing isn't giving me trouble. It may shut us down now, but we'll see. Hopefully not. I had a weird thing in the Tesla the other day. The turn signals wouldn't work. The preset seat thing wouldn't work. It wouldn't move the seat and the mirrors and everything to where I like them automatically. Everything was like frozen up kind of. You could drive and everything, but that's all you could do. And so I had to reset the screen on it, which is the first time I've had to do that. So I was a little bit worried. I wasn't home. I was parked across the street from a grocery store, and I had to like reset the whole screen and everything. And I was a little scared because, like I said, I hadn't done it before, and I wasn't home. So if it was in my own driveway, I wouldn't be so worried. But I was like, I hope this all comes back, because you have to shut it completely down and restart it. I was a little worried. I was like, oh, I hope I'm not walking home. This would be embarrassing. Our new expensive car, and it's not working right, but I've read quite a few issues with that thing, and it's pretty much what you do. You just have to reset it and everything's fine again. And that's exactly what happened. It took about 45 seconds and everything was back to normal. But it gave me that little moment of, oh no, between everything else going on in the world, and I'm 200 miles from a Tesla service center or any of that kind of stuff. I hope this isn't going to be a problem, but it was okay. I think everything's been fine. Actually, I haven't driven. I don't think I've driven it since then. It's been her, but she hasn't said anything. So I'm assuming everything is back to working as normal. So we're about 20 minutes in. We've had like 4 or 5 people in here. Now we got 3. Hoping it catches on here soon. Yeah, the streets are pretty dead. Abilene was pretty dead yesterday. Abilene, Kansas. Streets are pretty dead. Then I had to go down US 81 and then east on Interstate 70, and both of those were fairly well deserted. Not a lot of other cars. Pretty much had the whole highway to myself on the way home last night. And it's hard to know now, like all the different convenience stores and gas stations and everything. They all have crazy hours. Just when I pretty much had them all memorized, because I travel all the time, I know where I can stop and get gas or whatever, who's open, who's not, who's 24 hours, who's closed, but they're all different now. Everybody's changed, and it's like confusing. Even with the Casey's stores, which are big down here in Nebraska, Kansas area, and Iowa. And anyway, if some of you guys have never heard, it's kind of a big chain. I don't know, but they're not all. The hours aren't the same at all. And it kind of depends on the town. Some of them are closing at like 8 o'clock now. Others are open 24 hours. And anyway, it's just a guessing game. So when you got to get gas on your long trip for work, you just have to keep driving until you see something that looks like it's open. I pulled into a Casey's last night that I thought was open, but then it looked like it was dark inside. I really couldn't tell. They had kind of tinted weird windows, and I just decided, rather than get out and get everything, and then it wasn't going to work, I went ahead and just drove to another station. But there was no cars out. There was I could tell there was employees' cars on the side, but there were no cars at the gas pumps. There was no cars out front. And it was I'm trying to think, it was just after 9 or something. So I thought, well, maybe they just closed. I didn't want to cause trouble or waste my time, so I just went to another station. Kind of weird now. You never know. You just don't know what's open and what's not. It's hard to keep track. The one here in town where I live is closes at 10 o'clock now, and it's our only. Well, we have two gas stations here. They both close at 10 o'clock. So I used to be able to come back in the middle of the night and fill up the work vehicle because you're supposed to leave it full when you bring it back. You're supposed to leave it full for either you or the next person when they go to take it. It's got a full tank, but now since we live so far in the middle of nowhere, it's about 40 miles or so to the next open gas station. So I have to get gas there and then come home. So then by the time you get it home and parked, it's not actually topped off, but it's about as close as, we just got to do what we can do at this point. Yeah, Fat Boy. Yep, dead there. Get your people that want to be out. No dining in, no carry, and the carry out only. Yeah, we got like all the restaurants here in our town are, carry out only, and most of them are delivering now, even though they didn't before. Free delivery. I think you got to order a certain amount. They don't want to, deliver if you spend $2, but they've all got like free delivery. They've got curb service. Just pull up and honk or whatever, and they'll come out and take your order, or you can call ahead, that kind of thing. So that's nice. And I kind of want to do that one of these nights. I want to try to support the local businesses. So I'll probably pick one of them and do dinner that way. We don't go out a lot, but I think in this case, maybe we should. I know they're all hurting. There's a couple of them that are trying to sell their businesses right now. So I'm sure that's not going to be super successful anytime soon. It'd be real hard to sell a little restaurant right now, wouldn't it? That would be one hell of a feat to pull off. Although if you were looking to buy one, it might be a good time to get a good deal if you could, they might be willing to get out of it pretty cheap. I don't know. We had the local bar here now has to be closed, and they also are carrying out food and delivering food. But when this all first started, before the actual order came down, the bar was still operating as normal, and I drove by there a few times at night, and the place was packed. I mean, there's like 40, 50 cars, and the place is packed. And I just thought, man, what are people thinking? I know it's fun to go out and drink with your friends and whatever. Or if you're young and single, you want to go out to the bar, maybe try to hook up or whatever. But Jesus, come on, man. But once the order came down, they followed the order and all that stuff. But I just thought, man, people are crazy. I don't necessarily believe this is as huge of a deal as they're making it out to, but I also don't want to find out the hard way that I'm wrong, Hey, Ned, what's up, Ned? Jacksonville, Florida. All right. Pet Supermarket at Jacksonville Beach had us stand in the lobby in a taped square while an employee shopped for us. Oh, wow. Each customer got a square and a personal shopper. That's nice. Hey, Fat Boy, take care, man. Have a good time at work. Just another day closer to being back to normal. I keep saying that because it's true. So you got to stand in a square and they do your personal shop. That's pretty good, actually, because they don't want people in there, browsing around, making it their, their entertainment, because there's not too many places you can go. So our little store here in town, the one I used to work at, has like little areas marked off where you're supposed to stay a certain amount from other people. And it's got arrows going through the store. So it's like, if you want to go in and shop, they want you to follow the arrows and don't backtrack. So, as you go like around the right side of the store and then up and down all the aisles and then back to and they ask you to please follow the arrows. Try not to be in the too close to any other people, and just to work your way through the store and try to get everything you need as you go, so you don't have to backtrack and hang out any longer. And they're all wearing their masks and gloves. The glove thing, I don't really understand. So I'm watching them, and I know it's impossible. I know how hard it would be to change gloves literally. I mean, I don't know how. I'm not a big fan of the glove thing. I don't really see what good it does unless you're going to literally change it after everything you do. It's not doing any better than bare hands that you're keeping clean. Because they'll be ringing up your groceries, then they're doing the register, and then they take your money, or unless you're using the card, then they don't have to do that, but they're handing you a receipt, and then they're going to the next customer. I just don't really see the big advantage to the gloves unless you seriously change them like every 10 seconds. Ned says the west side Jacksonville is like nothing's going on. 78-year-old dad lives there, tape lines, but that's all. Yeah, it kind of depends, I think, on the place, the area, and then the actual businesses that kind of taking care of what they think is the best way to do it. Some are much more strict, I guess, or whatever you want to say, or others are like more dependent on people to take care of themselves. I'd like to get down to Florida one of these days. I haven't been there since I was a little kid. I know it's pretty crazy now. I see a lot of crazy stuff down there. There's something about that state. Oh, I was gonna do some videotaping of the live stream so you guys could say hi to yourselves for the next video. We don't have a lot of people in here though, so. Oh, sweet, Ned, you're gonna get your Scat Pack challenge at the end of the month. Sweet, nice. Is it new or getting the? It's a great car. It's such a sweet, nice, man. Awesome. Yeah, they're so fun, and I don't regret 1 second of it or $1 of it. I really don't. I mean, it's the best thing I've ever purchased. I can honestly say that. 6 speed is so fun. I know people like, oh, it's not as fast, but it doesn't matter. I mean, unless you're going to be going to the drag strip every night, you're not going to care. It's so much more fun. There's nothing wrong with the 8-speed either. It's badass 8-speed. It shifts really quick and all that. But thanks, Ned. I'm glad you like the videos, man. Thanks you so much. Appreciate that. I like all the support I can get. I always appreciate every single viewer, and every single second that you watch is appreciated. Believe me. Yeah, auto's kind of like riding and stick is driving. Unfortunately, in a few years, I don't think we're going to be able to get any more manuals. So if you get it might be a good idea to hang on to these cars because I think at some point they're going to be worth a little bit more because they're manuals and they're going to be the last of the manual muscle cars. And, I'm sure the next version of the Challenger is going to be automatic only, just like everything else. It's coming, so it'd be a good idea to get one and hang on to it if you can. Yeah, I mean, I used to think about maybe trading for a Hellcat, but I don't know. I probably still would. I don't know, but I'd like to ideally keep it and still get a Hellcat. Because keep hanging on to that manual muscle car is I think in 20 years or whenever, at some point they're going to be worth money because you won't be able to get them anymore. Plus, there's just so few of them anyway. Even whatever, I don't even know how many percentage of them are manuals that even are released to that they sell. It was like 10% of them or something. So you got to face it. There's a lot of people who can't even drive a manual. Most people, I think I saw something like 65% of the public can't even drive one. So, and you really can't blame the car companies for going away from it. If people don't want them and they can't drive them, you can't really be making stuff for people that they can't operate. Yeah, they're hard to find. We had to special order ours because I wanted the manual, and I only had a couple colors that I was interested in, like 3 colors that I was interested in, and I wanted the Scat Pack appearance crew, so I get the stripe and the blacked out grill and the interior package with the little honeycomb look to it, whatever that's called. I'm drawing a blank, but hectic mesh and all that stuff. I really wanted all that stuff, and I wanted certain colors, and I wanted a manual. That was really hard to find. They searched the country for cars on Dodge, lots, Dodge dealers, and there just wasn't anything that matched up. There was one shaker that was black that was pretty much everything else, but then they wanted like an outrageous amount of money for it. They wanted $53,000 for it, and I knew almost immediately that they weren't going to come down from 53 to anywhere near what I was, wanting to pay for a car. So we ended up ordering one anyway and having to wait. We had to wait 8 weeks to get it, but it was great. Yep. That's how I was, Ned. It's like it was tempting to just grab one because there was a couple other Scat Packs around that I could have got, but they weren't exactly what I wanted. Like, this is my dream car. This is what I've been thinking about. It's been my obsession. I've waited a long time. I can wait 8 weeks to get it. Yeah, when I got mine, there really weren't too many deals, and I ordered a 2018 in the summer of 2017. There were still 2017s on the lots. They just weren't what I wanted. So I didn't get a great deal because we'd special ordered it and all that stuff. And like I said, they had 17s on the lot that were good deals on lots all over the country that were good deals. They just weren't what I wanted. So yeah, Vanishing Point is a great movie. A little weird movie. Doesn't always make the most sense, but it's a good movie. And yeah, I've always loved it. It's one of the great car movies of all time, and it definitely did wonders for the Challenger. I haven't seen that in a while. I need to watch it. I used to stream that movie on. There was an old website years ago called Justin TV, where you could kind of have your own TV channel and you stream different movies or whatever you wanted to put on there. And it got taken down, obviously, because of all the copyright issues, including I did it too. Like I said, I was downloading. Hopefully, the statute of limitations is up. I was downloading a lot of old car movies and stuff like that, and motorcycle biker movies and car movies and just that kind of thing. Most of it was kind of cheesy stuff, but it was still fun. And so my whole channel was just 24 hours of that, just kind of playing all the time. I only had about 20 movies on there. They just played over and over and over. But that website got taken down. I think the main reason it got taken down is because people were live streaming sports on it. More so than the movies and stuff that people were doing. All right, man. Take care, Ned. Yep, stay safe, and congratulations on the car. You're going to love it. Well, we've been 32 minutes. This is longer than I thought it would end up being. Hey, thank you, Ned, man. Appreciate that, dude. Thank you so much. Awesome, man. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Been a while since I got one of those. Thank you, man. I've been missing everybody else's live streams too. I try to catch the Outlaw SS's, and there's some other ones I like to watch, but I keep missing them. My work, it just seems to be coinciding with everything I want to watch, so, which is fine. I have to work, so I'm not complaining. It's just one of those things. The timing hasn't been right. I can't figure out why this is all out of whack now. Something happened. Everything got moved in here. Let's try to have the flag kind of in. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on. Another thing, I wanted to get the car all cleaned up today, but it's not. I don't know. It might not be bad for that. I think it's going to be 50, so it may not be too bad for that. I might be able to do that. I got all my drying cloths and my microfibers and all that stuff all cleaned. Finally, I had a huge pile of them, and then I have these 2 big drying towels, and they work great for drying the car. But I left them in the garage, like hanging up all winter, and they managed to get dirt and dust all over them, plus dead leaves stuck to them. So I had to get those cleaned up. They are cleaned, folded, and ready for the car now, which I'm relieved about. If I don't dry that car, we have this super hard water here, and it just looks like garbage when it's not, if you don't dry it off. It's got so many water spots embedded in it. I got to do something about that. That's going to be a major project. I'm having my coffee in my Krispy Kreme coffee cup. Kim got that for me, actually. She got me a hat, a little the little paper hat from there, and a coffee cup. It was like one of my mom's favorite places before she passed away. She loved Krispy Kreme donuts. And so my daughter is a senior in high school. Her graduation is pretty much messed up now, obviously, like just like everybody's across the country. Her boyfriend are supposed to come back from Texas for the graduation, and I think they were coming on the 6th or something like that, or I can't remember, of May. And now that's kind of up in the air because the graduation is not happening, and I don't know. I'd be okay with it, but Kim's not crazy about having people in the house right now. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. I'm hoping that this thing lets up and we can go ahead and have them come and stay here. It's weighing on my mind pretty heavy because I haven't seen my daughter in over a year, and I really want to see her. I know they're planning to come, but it's a big weight on my shoulders right now, wondering what to do about that. I hate to tell someone that I love that they can't come to my house. It might be one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. I'm hoping, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I can help them get a room or something, but even then, I'm still be hanging out with them. So I don't know. Anybody have any suggestions for me on that one? What else did I say? What else did I ask for help for earlier? My memory's going. Hey, we're down to only one person. Damn, what happened? I wish I could be a little bit more consistent on these daytime ones, like have a certain day and time, and we could kind of build it up a little bit. When I do it now, it's always kind of like last minute, throw it up there, see what happens. And sometimes they're not too bad. I've had a couple that are pretty good. I haven't really done a too early morning one. Not that it's early morning, but I don't think I can't remember if I've ever done one in the morning before. Thought I'd give it a shot. I know a lot of people are home right now, so I thought it might not be too bad. They seen that there's a rendering of, I don't know, there's debate whether it's supposed to be a Challenger or a Charger, but it did come from actual people at Dodge. That kind of orangish yellow looking weird looking thing that may be a possible look into a future Dodge product. They kind of threw it out there as a tease, I think, but it's really hard to tell a lot about the way it looks. I made a video a while back, and there's like a side profile of a Dodge prototype looking, not actually just a rendering. It kind of looks like the same thing. It's real pointy in the front. Don't know if anybody's seen that or if that's a real thing or they're just throwing that out there. How do you say your name there? Is it Tenliana? Hi, what do you think about the COVID-19? Well, I think it sucks. It's a real, obviously a real downer for everybody. It's pretty much the main topic of conversation all the time, always. So, unfortunately, it's something we gotta live with right now and get through. And I think we'll get through it sooner than later. I'm hoping. Hey, Sky One's here. What's up, man? But it is what it is. We gotta get through it. I think it'll be over before too awful long. I really do. I think we're turning the corner. I always try to think positively about stuff. So we'll see if I'm right or wrong. And hopefully, a couple months from now, we won't all be stuck at home. And not that I'm stuck at home necessarily, but a lot of people are. I mean, when you're not stuck at home, there's nothing to do anyway, so you just are stuck at home. If I'm not working, I'm home because there's really nothing else to do. This guy's just hanging out. Yeah, me too. I'm kind of taking a little bit of a leisurely day. I had several days of work in a row, long hours. So I'm just trying to. I'll be totally honest with you. This morning I've just been pretty lazy. Watched a bunch of YouTube videos and then I decided I might as well do a live stream. Made a little coffee, and that's about all I've accomplished. And it's 11 o'clock in the morning. Well, he can't make everyone work. He's not the king, and he's not too concerned about taxes anyway. He's not a tax guy. That's the other side of the aisle that's worried about all the taxes. But obviously, they all are. We need, the government needs the tax. But trading stocks, cool, man, cool. If we don't all get back to working soon, then we're going to be in trouble. So it's kind of a balancing act. You don't want everyone to get sick, but at the same time, we can't just shut down the country. It won't work. We'll be starving to death in a year if that happens, and everybody will be poor, and it'll be a really, really rough time for this country if we don't get back to work. So there's this little balancing act they're trying to do. Not jump the gun too soon, but can't just close down everything for the rest of eternity. It's got to start back up. That's what this country's built on. That's what keeps the wheels turning. That's what keeps us all, eating with roofs over our head, nice cars to drive, and all that stuff. Make more from day trading. I've always wanted to get into the day trading thing a little bit. I looked into it a little bit. I just don't know if I can. I don't know, man. Cool. That's good, Sky. So it's just I wouldn't want to be anybody in charge right now, I'll tell you that. It would be a very stressful time. So whether and I don't care who it was, even if it was a president that I didn't like, I kind of feel sorry for them. I mean, they're in a bad position. So you made $1,300 in past hours. Congratulations. That is awesome, dude. That is too cool. You're tempting me. But you really got to keep up on things. You really got to study. You got to know how all that works. You got to know what you're doing. And did you learn from a particular anywhere, or just kind of? I think if you're a leader now, whether you're president or whoever, no matter what you do, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You're being too positive. You're being too negative. You're giving false hope. You're not giving any hope. You just can't do anything right. So no matter what you say or do, certain segments are going to be like, oh my gosh, what is it, Yep. What are they on stimulus package number 4 now? I don't even know. I mean, I am not a socialist in any way. I don't like any of this stuff, but it's the only time where I've ever thought, man, I hate this, but in a way, I don't know what other alternative there is. If they're going to tell everybody they have to shut everything down, I mean, it's just a weird situation. And I know there's a lot of people that are like me that are kind of in this weird spot, like, oh man, you got to tell everybody they can't do anything, they can't work, can't run their business, they can't, all these things are, you're basically shutting the economy down, and then telling people, well, to hell with you, they got to do something. But yeah, it's crazy. It's such a weird time. If you just thought about this, like, 2-3 months ago, that we'd be doing what we're doing right now, nobody would have believed it. So it just shows you how quickly life can change and how quickly things can change. And I also think that it can go back just as quickly. So a couple months from now, we could be going, remember that? Wasn't that weird? Good thing everything's back to normal now, And I think that, like, the economy and stock market and all that stuff, I really believe it's going to go crazy once this is all, it already started to kind of improve. But I think it'll go crazy, and I think it'll be bigger and better than it ever was. Yeah, a lot of people are making stuff, selling it online. My eBay is not doing well, but I don't have much on there right now, and I don't have anything very exciting. I just got an offer for, I don't know what it was, like something I have for sale, but it was a tiny little offer. I'm not going to take it. But yeah, I don't know. There's a couple of newer like sales, online auction sale places that I've seen commercials for, but I haven't checked them out. I can't remember the damn names now. Every time I see it, I think, oh, I'll remember that. then I don't remember it. I need to write stuff down or my phone or say it into my phone or something because I can never remember. My phone's going off. Don't know. Still just 2 people. We had 5, I think, at once. That's the most we've had today. I wondered about the morning thing. I figured it'd be about like this, so no problem, man. Yeah, Kim works at in the office at a meatpacking plant in Hastings in Nebraska, and there's another meatpacking plant not far from there that has got a bunch of people have the virus or whatever confirmed from this other plant a few miles away. So it's a little bit scary. I don't know if some of those people may be in the same family. They may live in the same, so it could be a little bit scary. I don't know. The large majority of the actual workers, and she works in the office, but out on the floor where they do the killing and all that stuff. I don't want to think about that, but it's predominantly immigrants. We'll say at both plants, and so unfortunately, a bunch of them have gotten sick at the one plant. At hers, so far, none confirmed or reported or anything. So hopefully, it's not going to spread through that little community or whatever. I hope not, anyway. And I think she had last Friday off just because business is so slow, and she didn't know yet if she has tomorrow off or not. I guess she probably knows by now. Skywan regarding conspiracy theory, they are using coronavirus as reason to track cell phone locations. Yeah, now and probes are going in. I mean, yeah, it's getting crazy. I mean, I'm not totally convinced that this isn't being blown out of proportion to take a lot of freedoms away and to give the government more rights to spy and to follow people and to keep track of everybody. I think they want to get rid of cash. That'll be next. Oh, we can't be exchanging paper because they want to know everything you're buying. If you buy something with cash, they can't track it as easily as if you buy it with a card or check or online electronic willy or whatever. They really want a cashless society. I think this is one way to for them to promote that, and a lot of other things. Just keep track of everybody. They can keep track of us anyway. I mean, if you watch any of it's amazing how many murderers and stuff carry around their phones with them, and then when they become a suspect in a murder case, the police go back and look at where they claim they've never been in this neighborhood or whatever. Well, your phone was in that neighborhood the other night when the shooting happened. So they can tell where you're at all the time. Yeah, and they want to make it easier to take your money. If you got it in cash, they can't get it as easily if they can just take it electronically from you. Couple hits on the keyboard and your money's gone. Yeah, the social scoring thing is scary, and you even see I know the thing in China and there's some other countries too. You have this social scoring with how good you are or whatever. And there's even websites here now that it's not from the government, but there are websites now that help you promote your social, basically social scoring. They go through all your social media, whatever you have, and all your other whatever they can get a hold of, and they try to make suggestions to you to get your score up, your whatever. And so it's pretty weird, and how to get rid of some of the bad stuff that you might have out there on any kind of social media. It's pretty scary. So apparently they can go in and they can find anything you've ever posted or talked about or discussed or made a video of or commented on or liked or disliked. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, and I've posted photos of my firearms and stuff a couple of times, and I know it was probably a bad idea. I knew when I did it, it was probably a bad idea. I did it anyways. But Yeah, I know at some point there's people who have lost jobs for belonging to the NRA, not because they did anything wrong. Yep, I know. They can find everything now. That's a big thing. They have people in these big corporations, even small ones, where when they go to hire or even their current employees, they just go around and snoop on all your. They're not really snooping because it's all public, but all your social media, whether you have a YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, they're checking into it. They want to see, yeah, they want to see what you're up to, what you're into, what your political views are. Um, have you ever said anything that could be perceived as racist? Do you like guns? Do you, whatever? Did you ever make a post like, man, I'm having the worst day ever. I feel like punching someone in the face. Well, yeah, maybe this guy's violent. Maybe we better not have him around. So yeah, I'm really bad about not keeping stuff to myself. I'll post it on Facebook or talk about it here. I know, and but I'm not stupid. I mean, I understand what I'm doing to myself, but I just don't care. I feel almost like at some point there's going to be I don't know, some sort of I don't know, there's another, I'm talking right now. I shouldn't be talking, but there's going to be a time where there's going to be a conflict and just, it is what it is. If the founding fathers had been sat around and worried about the stuff that they said and wrote and their opinions, then um, we'd be in a much different place than we are right now. So that's kind of the way I feel about it. If it comes back to hurt me, well, so be it. Yeah, post photos of your kittens and your charity work and your flowers that you planted in the garden and how nicely they're coming along, and skip all the other stuff. Yeah, guns are old technology, and yeah, you're right about all that stuff. Still, though, well, I think a law-abiding citizen ought to have the right to have any weapon that they can afford to get, whether that be a tank or a slingshot. I'm not afraid of the neighbor having a tank as long as he's a sane, law-abiding citizen. I wouldn't worry about him having a tank in his yard. That doesn't bother me any. He's not going to blow my house up with it. So we should be able to have lasers and anything we want. There I go. See, I'm just getting myself in trouble. The older I get, the less I care about what anybody thinks, including the government or any, potential employers or whatever. Whatever. It is what it is. I think that's why I've been in several conflicts lately with people that I at work and things like that. Not like bad, like nothing, but just like not taking any crap from anybody because I'm just too old. I just don't care anymore. I've learned enough through life that whatever happens, you can move on and do something else. And, it's what it is, and life goes on. And if it's not something I'm going to be worried about in a month or two, then I shouldn't worry about it now. So now we're getting in trouble. There goes my phone again. I got to keep checking it to make sure it's not a child. My children are all adults now, but I still, when my phone goes off, I still worry. Nope. I don't know what it was, an email or something. Yeah, I just was looking the other day when I was at the, oh man, just got a message from Kim. Um, yeah, I was like I was telling you, well, I made a video the other day. I'd gone to the grocery store. Yeah, the toilet paper aisle was pretty full. So we're okay here on toilet paper. We had a few days where it was out, but and when everybody, that first panic wave. But since then, there's not like a full stock of every brand, but they probably have, 10 or 12 different choices on the shelf, different brands that are full up. So we're pretty good here. You know, you may not be able to get your favorite brand that you've always bought, but you can get something. Amazing how quick that all changes, isn't it? Like you go from, well, I would never buy anything but whatever product, and then something like this happens, and it's like, okay, give me whatever they got. That'll work. I just got a message from Kim about her vacation that got canceled because of all this stuff. They were going to Ireland, and that all got canceled. She just got a message from the travel agency, and they're only going to refund about half of her money if she cancels. That she can keep what she's got in there and make another trip, but all the other trips are now going to be about 3 times the amount for aircraft taking. So she's going to get screwed on this one way or another, which totally sucks. Yeah, I've seen that before. The blue, the roll of towels. Yeah, those blue towels, shop towels. They work really well for making masks and stuff out of. I was telling the guys earlier, I tried to make one out of a bandana, but it steams my glasses right up. I don't know what to do. I'm not getting a good seal over and under my nose or whatever. And then every time I breathe out, my glasses steam up. So don't know. I can't really drive like that. I have to drive people around. So I'd like to wear something. I know it would make them feel better. Probably no one else does. The riders never are wearing anything, but I haven't found a way to safely do it yet without fogging my glasses up. Yeah, I could wear ski goggles. It's a little frustrating. And I'm also very fidgety, and I know that I'm going to be screwing with it all day because I just can't. But I'll try. If I can try a couple different maybe materials or something, maybe I can find something that'll work a little bit better for me. I followed the Surgeon General's video that he showed where to do it with a bandana or whatever, and I saw exactly what we did, but it just immediately I was like, well, that's not going to work. I can't. Every time I breathe out, my glasses fog up. That would not be a very safe way to drive, especially at night, or really any time for that matter. Oh, that's bad news. I can't believe I just got that message. I can't believe that this all gets canceled because of this thing, and now she's going to lose a crap ton of money. Bad enough that it got canceled and ruined their whole plan that they had for a year. Now she's going to get robbed out of it too. Yeah, they say it can float around the air. You get it. You don't have to be somebody sneezing even either. They're saying that I've heard that just talking. You know, I don't know if you can, obviously everybody wants to take precautions and all that stuff, but there's no way to completely insulate yourself from it. Anytime you're in a building or a vehicle or anything you touch or anything that you touch, that even if there's just so many things. I mean, going in and out of doors, touching the door, even leaning on the door to open it, you get it on your shirt, and then later on you shut your shirt. And, yeah, Kim says she's going to be forced to pay. She either gives up her money that she paid for her trip, 50% of it, she gets a refund, or she pays higher fares for the next trip that they plan. Good Lord. Yep. Think of everything as wet paint. It would just get to, if you try to be 100%, you can never be 100% safe, but the more you try, you're going to spend your whole life in a constant battle to not touch any, okay, I leaned on that door. Now I got to peel this jacket off and wash it. And then, I just touched the jacket with my hand. I got to watch, it's never ending battle. Yeah, I think I'm pretty pissed. I'm not getting the whole details here. She sent me a couple of quick messages. So they were going to Ireland in last month. Well, they would have been there for St. Patrick's Day, but the trip was fairly cheap because it wasn't the height of the tourist season there. It was just the very beginning of it. So everything was fairly inexpensive. It was still expensive, but it was a lot less than now. If they reschedule it for like July, which they think they can do, it's going to cost like way, way, way more. And so she can either do that and pay a bunch more with credit already for what she already paid for, or she can get a refund, but she only gets 50% back, which is just ridiculous. She didn't cancel. I mean, they canceled it. I mean, technically they did cancel it because when the travel ban first came down, Ireland and England were two of the places you could still go, but the tour company canceled it, even though the president hadn't, or the government, president, whatever, hadn't canceled. You could still go to the UK in the beginning, if you remember, but they canceled it on their own, and then a few days later, you couldn't go there anymore anyway. But yeah, I would like Ireland would be pretty cool. I need to get a passport someday so I can go somewhere. I'm not super crazy about flying, but I would do it I'd probably have to maybe have a couple drinks or see the doctor before I go, maybe get a little something to calm me down a little bit. Yeah, Sweden. Uh, the good news just keeps piling up. Amsterdam. Go smoke some, or go to the what's it, the red light district? Yeah, coffee shop. Yeah, do the the window shopping. Yeah. Maybe I should just do like an all day stream. I'll just let this go until I be like midnight. I'll finally pass out. I'll have to take some restroom breaks probably, but I'll put up a little sign that says "Be right back." I'm sure in the fine print of her travel agreement thing somewhere, they have a right to only refund whatever. I'm sure, but man, you just don't anticipate that kind of thing happening, I guess. It was Wednesday when the order came down, and they were supposed to leave Saturday. That's how close it was. Probably a good thing they didn't get out of the country though, because they might have had trouble getting back. But that's kind of heartbreaking. I mean, a lot of things suck. My daughter's graduation, which and this is happening to families all over the country. Everybody has something. But man, what a one! I got family coming back for that, which I haven't seen. My daughter, which I haven't, other daughter who I haven't seen in over a year. I'm dying to see her, and they were supposed to come back for the graduation. Now I don't even know if I can have them in the house. Oh, this whole thing just sucks, and I think it may be a little overblown. Like we talked about earlier, it may be some other reasons behind all this. I think it's real. I mean, obviously the virus is real, but you're up 2,200 now. Damn, dude, awesome. I need to show Kim this. I've been talking to her about this kind of stuff. I can hear the crop dusters out there flying. I know they don't like to be called that anymore. They're called aerial sprayers or whatever they call it now, those guys. But I should get out there and get some video. These guys are pretty fun to watch. We have a small airport just up the road here, and most of this activity out of there is these guys that spray the crops. It's pretty neat to watch. course, if you get too close, you're breathing up whatever it is they're spraying, but we're breathing it up anyway. This whole town is, we're surrounded on all four sides by cornfields for the most part, or milo or whatever, wheat. And they're always spraying it with something, whether it be from the air or on the ground. They always got something going on. Some chemical they're spraying on it, so you know that the whole town, we're just breathing that stuff up all the time. And there does seem to be a pretty high incidence of cancer in this town, more than any. I mean, it just seems like everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people are getting sick. So I don't know if that has something to do with it or not. All the weed killers and pesticides and fertilizers and God knows whatever else. Sky One, Joey, my next viral video will be me running a blockade for a few Humvees chasing my Challenger. That would be really cool. I need a viral video. I've only had one that even was remotely big. That was when Family Cruising got arrested. I just managed to be the first person out with a video about it. And I got a lot of views off that video. And a couple of the follow-up ones on that were pretty good. And then a few, well, my views are just so bad right now. Yeah, my tornado one didn't get a lot of it. The best thing about my tornado one was didn't do well on YouTube, and that was before I really was doing a channel. I had a channel, but I wasn't really doing anything with it. But that tornado video got on Good Morning America and Weather Channel and a bunch of local stations around the country, just because it was the first tornado of that season that really anybody had gotten a video of. So that was pretty cool. I put it up on Facebook and on Nebraska Through the Lens, which is a picture and video site for Nebraska. And within like 15 or 20 minutes of me putting it up, I started getting emails and messages and stuff from Reuters and the AP and all this stuff asking for permission, and ABC and a bunch of, anyway, I just got flooded with all these requests for permission to use the video, and they asked, did I want anything for it, which I didn't. I just wanted my name in there just to credit me with it or whatever, and that's what they did. So that was pretty cool. And then I started getting calls from family members and stuff. Hey, I just saw your video. I was watching TV. I heard Superior, Nebraska. I turned and looked, and your name was on the screen. Yeah, that was my couple minutes of fame there. No. I've had a couple other minutes of fame for other things, but it was cool to get it on there. It was just a tiny tornado, and it really wasn't anything to get too excited about. I was excited because I've been wanting to get a tornado on video for my whole life, and it finally happened. And I was just about to give up because it looked really crazy that day. Everything was insane. I thought there's got to be a tornado. It's just too weird. This is definitely tornado weather. And I was out with the camera driving around. I picked my daughter up from work and driving home. And I was like, well, I guess we'll just go home. I don't really think this is going to happen. All of a sudden, there it was. And I was like, ugh. It was pretty exciting. I have my old metal band that I used to be in, and I've got two current offers to re-release our record. One from a record company down in Argentina and Brazil, and then another one from and actually, believe it or not, a metal record company out of China. Talking to both of them right now. The problem is the master tapes are currently nowhere to be found, so I don't know what's going to happen with that. It wouldn't be a ton of money, and they give you a little bit of money to do it, and then you get like $1 per record. But one thing, finding the master tapes is a problem. The other problem is I'd have to split that money with a whole bunch of people that I'm trying to even figure out where I would find them. Not a whole bunch, but about 6 or 7 people I think were involved in between all those recordings. So I have to track all those guys down. And no, I didn't see that video of the oil truck that dumped the oil on the drains. I want to start doing some reviews of other people's videos. So some people have their videos set to where you can use them. other people, I'd like to like get their permission if I could use their video in my video and kind of reaction review it or whatever. Some people aren't going to want to do that, I know, but I'd like to do it. I think it'd be fun to do. And technically, you should be able to use other people's video in your video as long as you're commentating or reviewing or whatever. The copyright laws allow that. YouTube is very picky about it. They always side on the side of the copyright holder, even though technically you're not breaking any laws. They don't want to, you have to fight for your right to do it, basically. There's tons and tons of reaction videos for music and sports and all kinds of things out there. And those people have good channels and they're big, but they're constantly fighting to keep the content up and to not get in trouble. Because automatically when someone says they have a copyright to something, YouTube doesn't even look into it. They just automatically give you the copyright thing, send you a warning, take it down, whatever. Other companies just want the money that you made from the video. Some of them want it to, yeah, it's a mess, but dumped oil in the drains. Oh, wow, I got to see that. Oh, wait, I think I did see that. It's like a big traffic jam. And then people are standing around taping and watching, and then they realize that the drains are starting to fill up or whatever. I think I did see that. That's right. I did see that video. Now that I reread what you wrote, I have seen that video. What a mess, man. There's things you don't think of. You're way far away from it, and you think, oh, yeah, this is interesting. I'm watching this video, and or I'm not watching this thing. This event happened, and then all of a sudden they start to realize, you know, oh, hold on a second. We're downstream from all this stuff. Damn. Yeah, it's amazing the stuff we get to see nowadays, since everybody basically carries around a video camera with them as far as their phone. I carry other ones around too, but most people at least have just their phone. So the amazing things that are caught on video now as compared to, 20 years ago or even 10 years ago. So my dad talks about on his channel, he's a channel about he's been in law enforcement all his life pretty much. And so his channel's about that. He's talked about that on there a little bit. Like, if you want to be a police officer, you have to realize that everyone has a video camera on, and on everything you do is probably very good chance someone's watching you, taking video, taking photos. So don't, if you don't want to become famous for doing something stupid or wrong or breaking somebody or violating someone's rights, you better, understand that. Yeah, me too. If I had, I would have had a lot of content when I was 16, 18, 21, 24. I might have had content for some other kind of video sites as well. We won't go there, but I was in the, as I said, I was a singer in a metal band that had a record deal. So you can probably imagine the rest. We had pretty good time back in the day. Can remember there was old shows back like in the 80s, like America's Funniest Home Videos and all that. And there'd be like 10 videos on the whole half-hour thing or whatever. And that was like, oh wow, that's so cool. And now you realize like there's just, you can just scroll through YouTube and do that endlessly now. Even in the beginning of YouTube, most of the videos were just stupid little short things and of people doing dumb things or falling or slipping or a little bit of car stuff. I think some of the first videos I watched on YouTube were car stuff. I remember there being one of my first videos I ever watched on YouTube was it was two guys, I think they were like teenage guys in a Mitsubishi 3000 that they thought was really fast, and they they ran into a guy in a Corvette on the street and they raced. And of course, the Corvette destroyed them a couple times, and they had all-wheel drive. They pull out a little bit, and he'd pull around them each time, and they were just amazed. I remember the title was like "Surprisingly Fast Corvette" or something like that, and I thought, why are they surprised? And it was just a short video, really low quality, but it was at the time it was like, oh, this is so cool. Jeez, I need to find something to do, man. No, I don't. Peak Prosperity. I'm going to now. Peak of Prosperity. I had a pen and pencil here. I have the paper, but the writing instruments have disappeared. Dang it. I'll put it in my phone. Peak Prosperity. Oops. Okay. Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Can I? I don't know what these little icons are. I watched a bunch. What was I watching this morning? I got hooked on YouTube with Football Life. It talks about different coaches and players, and there's like a 45-minute long story of their life in football. I don't know why I started watching that, but it's one of those weird things. I watched a little bit of one of them. Next thing I know, I watched like 4 or 5 in a row. Good, Bad, and the Ugly. And another favorite was G Gang. So I've been hearing a lot of stuff on the radio about like people are watching like marble racing and stuff now because there's no racing on in sports. So I guess there's like they put a bunch of different marbles and there's a course that they roll down or something, and you can bet on the marbles, and I had to check some of that out. I wish I'd have come up with that idea. We come up with some sports that don't require people being in the same place, which you could tape and there's always probably a million people out there trying to do something like that right now. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't. There's a million people making hamburgers, but new hamburger joints come out all the time and they're successful. So just because someone's already done something doesn't necessarily mean you shouldn't try it too. That's why I think a lot of people, like when they want to do a channel, they're like, well, I need to come up with something 100% original. And you don't want to like totally copy other people, but you don't necessarily have to be 100% original about anything either. There's a million places to get a pizza. There's a million places to buy a car. There's 100,000 car channels. There's 500 prank channels, so those prank channels, though, most of those are fake as heck. I'm sorry, but I watch that stuff and it's just too fake. Hey, man, take care, Sky One. Appreciate you. Thanks for the conversation and thanks for hanging out. We got another couple people lurking around, but nobody's saying anything, so I'll probably roll out of here pretty quick. I'm tempted to just sit here because I don't have anything. I need to probably go edit a video for my dad's channel. I should probably do that today because I don't know when I'm going to get another chance. I kind of feel like just sitting here and vegetating, but I just worn out. I feel like I need a day. See you later, man. Appreciate it. Not sure why a job driving around wears you out, but it seems like no matter what you do, no matter how physically easy it may be, it being at work wears me out. After a certain point, I did 15 hours yesterday, and I did 15 on 3 days before that. I did 15. Yeah, so I did a lot of hours in a short period of time, and I just feel like someone wrung me out like a sponge. Not so much physically, but just wow, like I just want to sit and watch TV for a minute and do nothing or do this. I'll make a video for you guys. Probably do that. Got a couple of short videos lined up, like real short. I kind of want to combine some of the subjects, but then some of them it's like, well, it's hard to, you don't want to get too many different subjects in one video, because then from a search perspective of people looking for a video on that subject, if you got 3 or 4 in one video, because they're all short little subjects, then I kind of think that I don't know. I'm not sure. It's hard to say what that does to the algorithm or the likelihood of somebody finding your video or the likelihood of it being suggested to somebody. I don't know how all that works. I don't know if anybody knows how all that works. They're all car related and they're all different things about the car industry or whatever. Not sure if I should make 2 or 3 or 4 short little videos or one long one touching on all this stuff, but because they're all related to cars, but they're all different subjects. I've noticed when I try to blend in too many things into one, it doesn't seem to do well and kind of becomes like, what is this video about? But then I watch other people who do that and they do really well. There's some guys who, of course, they're already big. They're already huge YouTubers. So anything they put up is going to probably get a lot of views. But yeah, they'll touch on 20 different things in one video. I think I'm talking to myself now. Well, man, this has almost been a full. I usually go an hour and a half on Sunday. We're actually approaching an hour and a half. Maybe I'll try to do the hour and a half if nothing pops up as far as a crowd by then. We'll give it another 7 minutes here and see how it goes. See if I can I talk for 7 minutes? Can I do it? Did you ever see the Bill Burr Philly rant, I think it's called, where he goes off on the crowd in Philadelphia and they start booing him? And so he goes off for like, I don't know, 14 minutes or something, just on Philadelphia people. And man, he just goes off and he keeps counting down the minutes. He'll be like, okay, 11 minutes. And he'll go and okay, 8 minutes. And he's just ripping the hell out of them. And they're booing and getting mad. And some of them are laughing. And if you haven't seen that, Bill Burr, he's hilarious. If you haven't seen him, he's a great comedian. That's another thing I've been watching is people reacting to his video, to his comedy. I'm enjoying a lot of the reaction video channels. They're pretty fun to watch. I kind of like to do a little bit of that, but like I was talking about earlier, there's some copyright and reusing content issues with that. There really shouldn't be, because legally it's not a problem. But as I said, YouTube just jumps on the side of the original creator without considering the actual laws, and then you have to fight for your side of it. And I hate to risk my entire channel, so if I'd like to maybe get some permission from some people to use some of their videos, if they would let me. Even some of the just people Sky for one, I could maybe. There's a few people with channels that I know pretty well from here that might let me use some of their content. I know people have used mine. I don't care. Couldn't care less. As long as they mention the name of my channel on there, and so people can say, oh, let me check that dude out, then I'm perfectly fine with it. And I don't care how big or small they are. If they wanted to use my stuff, I wouldn't care. That's what I don't understand. Like a lot of the reaction channels where they react to music or whatever, a lot of the publishing companies, record companies and stuff will go after that person for copyright or try to take the revenue from that video because they're using their artist stuff. But to me, if it's like a couple of young guys or whatever, and they're reviewing, music by an old band from the 70s or 80s or whatever, or the 60s even, or whatever, it doesn't matter when. Um, they're exposing that music to a whole younger crowd, and they're actually doing them a big favor by exposing that music to all these people who may have never heard it before, and they might like it and they might go buy it. you know why you want to hide it from people and try to suck every penny out of everybody that does anything with your music ever. And I've been in the music business, so I'm not speaking from just some person who doesn't know anything about it. I understand how it all works, but I also understand that a little bit of free promotion is a good thing. If people want to play your old video and talk about it, and play your old music or whatever and talk about it on their channel, that's going to expose it to all of their all of their viewers are going to see it. And maybe if 1 or 2% of them decide to look into it and buy it, then that would be a great thing. But some people don't have that thought process. They think they're using my stuff, I want that off there. Way I think it's getting a free commercial. Companies pay to run commercials on YouTube in between the videos and during the videos. If you can get a YouTuber to just talk about your stuff, your product, your music, your movie, your comedy, whatever it may be, your channel, you're getting free promotion. You're getting a free commercial. That person's using your content, your stuff, and they're giving you basically a free commercial. So everybody that watches your video learns about you. So your music or whatever it may be. So to me, I think that's a big, huge plus. But I don't, some people don't see it that way. It's kind of like when Metallica tried to fight against Napster way back in the day. I don't think they quite understood. I mean, they were right. They were right. I mean, people were basically stealing everything, but it's almost like there's no way to stop it. And in a way, you're just hurting yourself at that point. And I don't think it hurt them. Obviously, they're multimillionaires. They're all worth hundreds of millions of dollars, but and that's luckily for them, that's kind of past, and nobody really talks about that anymore. But at the time, it was kind of a big deal. A lot of people were mad. I see both sides of that. Trying to get everything for free and think that you just deserve stuff for free because you live is wrong as well. Stealing people's content is wrong. But on the other hand, you're getting exposure, you're getting stuff passed around, and then in the sense of the whole music thing with Napster and downloading music, it was kind of inevitable, and it's like you can't stop that technology. It's really hard to stop that. And that's, as you can see in the music business now, they don't make a lot of money from selling records anymore. Nobody buys albums anymore. They buy individual songs. If they do buy anything, they trade them, they steal it, they just use websites to listen. They're not selling it. But that's why concert tickets are outrageous, and parking, and t-shirts, and they make a lot of their money from touring now. Or not, it wasn't so much in the old days. They toured to promote a record. Now they put out a record to promote a tour. It's kind of flipped around, because as of yet, there's no way to recreate the live experience. Who knows? Somebody probably will figure that out. But there's really no way to, the only way to see that live experience is to go to it. You can watch a video of it, but that's Shaka 252. What's going on? Good to see you, man. Been a while. What's up? You stuck at home? I'm sitting here talking to myself. I had people earlier, but I only got a couple now, but I'm still talking anyway. I'm really bored and I'm at home, so we're just going to. How's it going, Dad? I finished my coffee. I don't know what to do now. Beta, what's going on? Oh, you're working from home, Shaka? Cool. Yeah, I can't work from home with my job, but I am home right now. So the only time I leave really is to go do my job. How's it going, Beta? Sky just took off a few minutes ago, and we had a few other people earlier. We kind of decided to do this morning. It's still morning here. Kind of a spur of the moment, just for something to do. Put a little content out for the channel and see what you guys were up to, and hang out a while. We've turned into a lot longer. It's been an hour and a half. I thought maybe it'd be like half an hour. Not much. You just scroll. Oh, it's Call of Duty. Call of Duty is your life after you finish work. Yeah, I know this. I sell a few things on eBay, and I was listening to a bunch of other people who sell lots of stuff on eBay, and like right now, video games and video game systems and all that stuff, controllers, everything is just really going crazy. That everybody's sold out. All the eBayers are having, they're all selling all their stuff because people are stuck at home. They're thinking, get some stuff to do at home, or even people who don't play video games anymore. Now that you're stuck at home, you may start thinking back to, when you were a teenager or whatever. Oh, I'd like to play that game again. And so you jump online and try to buy all the system and the games and stuff. It's like, what did I used to do when I, made a decision not doing much, just scrolling YouTube and sitting around all day kind of thing here. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos earlier. I was telling them earlier, I watched a bunch of a football life. It's like they take one football player or coach or whatever announcer, and it's kind of like their life story. It's like 45 minutes. Pretty cool videos. I watched like 4 of those this morning, I think. Learn a lot about some of these people I didn't know about. I mean, I knew about them, but I didn't know their whole life stories. Now I do. Cool, Shocky. You're going to mod the hell. You're in the process of modding the hell out of your Charger, and it's going to look completely different. Sweet. It's a great looking car. Such a cool car. They just looking through Craigslist at computers and cars. I got to start doing something about this laptop that I use for this. It's getting weird on me. Yeah, I was looking at cars the other day on Car Gurus, used cars and stuff. Just I don't even know why. I'm not really looking for a car, but I was just bored. So I look at old classic Mopars and stuff. I guess dreaming of the day if I could actually do a project on an old classic. But that's where stuff starts. First, you start dreaming about it. Next thing you know, you're doing it. What all are you going to do to that car, Shaka? Your Chromebook is a piece of junk. I'll be thankful to have what you have. That's what I. If it works well enough to do anything, then you're in good shape. Kind of like an old car. Like if it still gets you around, it's still a good car. Oh, sweet. Stalled bags are nice, man. Nice. We were talking about earlier how like, just when things like this happen, everybody's stuck at home and certain things you just can't get, and you get a lot less picky about things. It's weird. But he's going to install some more stuff for you. Cool, man. A lot more to that. I can't wait to see all that stuff. So you'll have some good content and some lot of stuff going on. That's always good, and you'll have a really cool car when it's all done. Or is it ever really all done? No, that's the thing. Nobody's ever done. As soon as you get everything the way you think you want it, then you start thinking about other stuff. Or well, maybe I should take that. I should switch. That's just. I think that's human nature, especially for car people and motorcycle people and all that. You always want something different. Some guys don't though. Some guys do their car and it's just the way it is, and they keep it that way forever. Other guys like yeah, I don't like those wheels anymore, or I saw something I like better. That guy's car looks really cool. I want to do something like that. Yeah, allegedly done. Never really done with like a little asterisk next to it, like for now. But you do see those guys who never they do their car and then they never. I have a couple of friends like that who have old Camaros and stuff like that, and they still got those 80s wheels on them. Looks like your grandma's food processor blade. That's what they liked then, and they still like it. I guess it's cool for them. Yeah, stock for a long time. Mine's pretty much a little bit of stuff, but I'd be doing more to it if it weren't for one thing, purchasing that Tesla. Uh, there's that, but then also just that it's me and my girlfriend's car, so I don't have like free reign to just do whatever I want. It has to be kind of agreed upon. So, and she's a lot more into like leaving things alone. I'm more into getting crazy with stuff. So we kind of try to meet in the middle somewhere. Yeah, Shaka's car is cool as hell. A good looking car. Good videos, good music, everything. Oh, we're getting a few people hanging out. Did you almost get a Tesla last year? Cool. Dave's up here. Hey, what's up, Dave? You like leaving it more stock yourself? Yeah, everybody has their taste. That's what's cool about the whole car thing. You know, everybody, if we all liked exactly the same stuff, man, it would be really boring. That's what makes it so cool. Everybody's got, some people just want to leave it alone. Some people want to do stuff. Everybody's got their own, uh, deal what they want to do and how they want their car to look or be or act or perform. And that's what makes it cool. And I can respect like everybody's stuff. There's stuff I see that I would never do, but I still like it. I still think it's cool. Beta and Model 3 performance is one of your dream cars. Yeah, they are so quick and so cool. And even our Model 3, it's not a performance, but it's really quick and instant torque. It's a lot of fun. It's good little car. I really like it. I really like it a lot. You ended up with an SRT Durango. Well, hell, you can't complain about that, man. Definitely, definitely. We kind of fell into the whole Tesla thing. Not really, but she wanted to. She likes hybrids and electrics and all that. So I got the Challenger, and she went along with all that. And she was wanting to get a car, and she was wanting to get a Prius Plus. What is it called? Prius Plus or Prius Prime? Prius Prime. And I didn't really want that because it's like the most boring car in the world. And so I was bouncing things around in my head, like, well, what other electric type cars are there out there? And I said, well, let me look into Teslas, and I kind of just floated the idea to her, thinking this is never going to fly. And next thing you know, she was in love and driving them, and we ordered one, and I was really surprised. But it worked out good. At least it's semi interesting compared to the whole Prius thing. I was like, oh man, I don't want. So luckily, she went for that, and she really liked it, which is cool. I'm happy because I think it's a better choice anyway. Certainly more interesting and a lot more fun. It's just such a nicer. It's just a much nicer vehicle all around. Nicer from like every standpoint, basically. She has that old Prius that she really likes, and she still has. Actually, it's her son's car now, but um, I mean, I got to admit, it's a good car. It's never given her any trouble whatsoever in 10 years. It's just like super boring, and I hate driving it because I look like a dork. I look dorky enough without driving a Prius, and then I drive that thing, and then people treat you so weird when you drive that car. They get right up on your butt, they get right on your ass, and they cut you off. It's like, I hate that car, so I'm gonna. I've had people pull up next to me and stare over like dudes or whatever in their big truck, and I think they think I'm gonna be like a little old lady or something. And sometimes I think they're a little surprised, like, whoops, whoops, but they weren't expecting a full grown man to be driving the car. Beta, you're trying to find a cheap car to work on for your first car. You like want something kind of cool then, like you're saying, or God, there's so many cheap car. How cheap? Like I don't know. This is not my maybe an older Mustang or Camaro or something. Hey, flip flop logic, what's going on? Are you getting ready to leave for work? Glad you came in. Yeah, I decided to do an early one today just for the heck of it. Just whatever. Yeah, everything's doing good here, man. Other than the same situation the rest of the world is in right now, everything's good. Like 2000 and under cheap. If I was gonna do that's tough. Maybe get yourself an older pickup or something. If you're into that at all. What else for $2,000 that you could do that would be cool? An old '80s like Buick Regal or Olds Cutlass, Pontiac Grand Prix. Those cars, those can be really cool. You get your rear wheel drive and good looking cars, and a lot of things you can do to them. What else is out there for around $2,000? Depends on how old you want to go and stuff too. I mean, there's a lot of. I would just start searching through used cars on the Facebook Marketplace and whatever else you got, Craigslist or whatever else you have in your area. You get like a Crown Vic or a old Caprice, like the old police type cars. Those are pretty cool to work on, and you can do a lot of cool stuff to them. Yeah, Grand Prix are always cool. Yeah, pretty cheap. Some of those last of the rear wheel drive big cars, like I said, the Crown Vic or the old Caprice and all that. Those last ones that they built, those would be pretty cool. Uh, Very versatile and you can do a lot of cool stuff to them, and they got V8s in them. You make them sound good. You can definitely get into it for a couple $1,000 or less. Any old police car would be probably pretty cool. Turn it into something. Hey, thank you very much, Flip Flop Logic. Thank you so much, man. Very much appreciated. Thank you very much, man. That's awesome. I'm glad you came in. Sorry you got to work. Well, I guess I'm glad you got to work because some of us can't. Well, I can work, but a lot of people are not able to work or they're working from home. So it's glad to hear. I don't think I've talked to too many people that have literally lost their job. I think what's his name? Z Outlaw SS. I think he's basically not. He didn't lose his job, but he's furloughed or whatever, so he won't be going back to work till he doesn't know when. So that's a little tough. On the other hand, he can apply for unemployment and I guess get an extra $600 a week, which is crazy. Thank you very much, Flip Flop Manny. I can't tell you how much appreciate that so much. Thank you, dude. Awesome. You work for Moen and they refuse to close the doors, claiming that what you do is essential. Yeah, it's amazing how much stuff is essential. If you look at the list of what's essential, it's like basically everything. Unless you're running a strip club or I can't even think. There's like a few things you can't do, but everything else has got some essential aspect to it. It seems like. It's kind of crazy. I think a lot of this is just up to the people. It's up to each individual to take care of themselves and to make sure you're not spreading anything or catching anything to spread. If everybody uses common sense, then I think we're all going to be fine. I don't know if the government can come in and make a billion rules, but it really boils down to each and every one of us looking at ourselves in the mirror and saying, okay, what can I do to help stop this thing? And so I don't catch it and I don't give it to anybody. Yeah, plumbing about good, the best plumbing and bathroom parts. Except when my shower broke and I had to get new Moen parts, and it was like, wow. They reduced your, yeah. Kim just sent me a message. I think she's not working tomorrow. She works in the office at a meatpacking plant, and she just found out that she's not working tomorrow. They've been taking Fridays off, so that's a little bit of a little blow. I mean, it's not a problem. Luckily, thanks to the universe, either one of us being out of work is not a huge issue. I mean, it ain't great or anything, but it's not a big deal. We'll be fine, but it's still, you don't want that to go on for too awful long. Can't make that go on for years or anything. But yeah, a lot of people are getting reduced hours, or like I said, there's only a couple people I've heard of that I know of that they're just basically completely out of work for the time being, and some of them aren't 100% sure the place will actually reopen when the time comes. If they lose too much money, they won't be able to reopen. But I mean, obviously, a place like mowing isn't going anywhere. But if you work for a small business, then I have other friends. Well, a place I used to work, we made irrigation equipment for farms, center pivots, and all that stuff. I used to work there for a few years, and I know a lot of people who work there now, and they're all like, they're considered essential for some reason, and they can't. They're like, well, we can't close down. It's like, well, if you're told to close down, you're going to have to, and if you're told to make something different, you're going to have to. Oh no, we can't. We have to make. It's like, okay, whatever. But if they decide to say that that plant down the road there that makes that stuff has to now make, medical equipment, they're going to have to do it. I don't think that'll happen. Yeah, I know there's the list is just weird though. Yeah, the governor gets the list from Department of Homeland Security, and I mean it makes sense. Some of it, some things have to be open. You got to be able to get food. You got to be able to get fuel, and then a lot of other things are related to those things because they're down the line. Everything's kind of interwebbed with each other. So yeah, who's open or closed? I mean, there's certain things that are kind of off on their own little tangent that don't really have an effect on anything. But a lot of businesses depend on each other, and if one of those is an essential business, then all the businesses that serve that business become an essential business, and all the businesses that serve that business. So we're all related. It's all like a big spider web. Grocery stores, pharmacies, gas stations, transportation, trucking companies, train, all that stuff, and then there's all these other places that are part of that whole process as well. We're all connected. All of our jobs are somehow, you can draw some kind of a line. You can connect the dots to just about everything to some other business. We only have one pharmacy in this town I live in, and they're of course doing like you can't go in. You have to call ahead or pull up outside or whatever. They'll come out. I think they'll deliver to you too now. So to deliver your stuff, I don't know how the hell you pay, but anyway, they'll deliver it, or they'll come to the car if you pull up out front, or you can call ahead and pull up or whatever. I don't know how it all works. I don't have any prescriptions, so I don't know. Kim does. Kim has a couple, but I probably need a couple. Flip Flop Logic says you're in a band once. Yes. Will you make a video on that? I used to play guitar. Oh, cool. I don't know. Yeah, I was in a band. We had a record deal. Never made like any money really, but we had a hell of a good time. I was talking about that earlier too. Sky was saying that if he had all this video access to video cameras and all this stuff back when he was a teenager and in his 20s or whatever, he'd have had a lot of excellent videos. And I said, yeah, so would I, but probably different kind. It's the kind of stuff you couldn't show on YouTube. That's how it was back then, though. We had a good time, and it was a great time. We had a lot of fun. Never made like any money or anything really, but Beta, you're learning bass guitar? Cool. Yeah, bass guitar is fun. It's cool. It's hard to find good bass players. It's hard to find good anything actually, but see, most people pick up the guitar. Like for every drummer, there's 100 guitar players. For one thing, having a drum kit is, for one, it's super. It's not cheap, and the other thing is there's you gotta have some place to put it and some place to play it. And when you're a kid and you want to play the drums, you got to have parents that are gonna spend that money on you, give you the room somewhere, and put up with the noise. And that's not a very common thing. Because even when you get really good at drums, if a guy gets really good at drums, it's still not something you want to sit around and listen to somebody do while they practice for 2 or 3 hours a day when you're in the house or whatever. But yeah, Beta, keep working on the bass, keep learning, man. Just sit down and learn. There's tons of, I'm sure you already know, but there's tons of great tutorials and stuff and lessons and stuff online. So on YouTube or wherever. That's what's cool nowadays. These kids can learn all this stuff. We can all learn anything we want to basically from YouTube. So if we have to fix something, we don't know how to fix it, or we don't know what's wrong with it, we start searching on YouTube, and someone's going to show you what to do or what's wrong and how to fix it, and how much it's going to cost, and the tools you're going to need, and or whatever. If you want to play bass, someone's going to teach you how to do it. If you want to play the accordion, someone's going to teach you how to do it. Yeah, drums would be. Yeah, you can turn the guitars down. You can also use, your headphones and all that stuff with the guitar, with the amp and everything, so you can do it without making a lot of noise. But you can't play drums without making a lot of noise. We played in a basement. We had the whole metal band and everything down in the basement of a house in a neighborhood. That's where we rehearsed, and we tried to soundproof as much as we could. We had the walls all covered. We had all the window wells for the basement all filled with stuff to try to dampen the sound, and we still had the police out there a lot. You play French horn in a band, cool. Trumpet in jazz and bass and probably, oh, sweet, nice, and some guitar. Oh hell, you got all kinds of stuff going on, man. That's awesome, cool. That's awesome, cool, man. I play guitar a little bit, but mostly in the band I was the vocalist. But I do play guitar. I got guitar over there, and I used to have a few guitars, but now I'm down to one now. I'm kind of thinking about getting an acoustic again because I got rid of my acoustic guitar. I kind of miss it. I'm kind of thinking about getting another one, but I have an electric Jackson Kelly electric guitar over there in the corner. But not a great guitar player by any stretch of the imagination. I played with some really great guitar players though, but I wasn't one of them. I like to mess around the bass a little bit. I used to have a bass, don't have it anymore either. I go through these stages where I think, you know what, I'm never going to use that again. I should sell it to somebody who's going to use it. And then I do, and then I miss it, and I get another one. Same with my motorcycle. I'm already thinking, God, I need to get another motorcycle. I've had like 11 or 13 or something motorcycles in the last 20 years. I get them, sell them, get another one, sell it, get another. Yeah, I think once you play guitar and you enjoyed it, the urge doesn't go away. You have an acoustic to mess around on, and yeah, I really missed. I shouldn't have sold my acoustic. I really liked it. I just got to a point where I was only getting it out every once in a blue moon, and you tried saxophone, it's not your thing, you don't have the patience for it. Yeah, that's gotta like kind of have the desire to do it right away when you first pick one, whatever instrument it is. You gotta kind of feel it like, oh, I want to do this. if you got to think about it too much, it's probably not the right one. I feel like I've not progressed very far in guitar in my whole. I've got to a certain point and I've stayed there forever. Not very good. So definitely not my. Definitely wasn't like gifted in that area at all. I didn't get any like natural. And I don't think most people do. I think even some of the greatest people out there may not just be like, oh, they're just naturally great. And I don't know if that's a lot of it's just really, really, really hard work and practice and repetition, and some of it's natural and a feel and all that stuff too. But yeah, they've been talking about that for a while. Barracuda maybe replacing the next Challenger, or um, Barracuda maybe being a separate car, a little bit lighter, smaller and lighter, more like a Mustang or Camaro, to handle a little bit better, and a little bit more of a direct competition for those cars, as opposed to the Challenger being a kind of a full size muscle car type deal. Yeah, I'd like to see them if they were going to do it. I'd like it to. I would like it to be more of a direct competitor, to the Mustang Camaro kind of crowd thing. A little bit lighter, better handling, still really fast, and all that stuff. Challenger's kind of in its own little, and the Charger as well. They're kind of in their own little section over there. Um, Bigger, heavier, powerful, obnoxious, crazy cars. They don't really have a lot of direct competition. I mean, everything else is in a different class. The Camaro, Mustang are more like little smaller sports cars now. So I think that's what they would do. I don't know if they will. I don't know if they're going to invest in something like that, especially now that the Camaro may possibly be going away. The Camaro may possibly be going to be an all electric car. I made a video about that a while back, I don't know, last month or so. Um, who knows? Who the heck knows? We do know though that SCA, Dodge and everything, they have Mopar has they have a way of surprising us, coming out with crazy stuff that you don't find out about until like shortly before it comes out. So, oh sweet, your dad has his first car. You're storing a 1969 Camaro SS. Well, that's a very sought after car, and very yeah, that's like one of the most famous cars out there. So everybody wants a 69 Camaro SS. Oh, and a 70 C10. Nice. Cool. Yeah, a couple of nice ones there. Hell yeah. Can't beat that. I keep seeing really old pickup trucks. I saw an old it was a 59 or 60 Ford, and then I saw an old Dodge about the same year yesterday, and both of them I was like, man, I would like to really get an old late 50s, early 60s pickup, and or maybe even older. I don't know. Do something with it, but like I said, I got enough stuff going on right now. I don't need another. It would be fun though. It would be cool. I'd probably never finish it. I don't exactly have the greatest restoration skills. I can do some stuff, but I'd be one of those to be a project for the next 20 years, and I'd die. And then my family's like, "What do we do with this old piece of crap in the garage?" Probably be what would happen to me. Yeah, both of those are pretty sought after. The 70 C10 and a 69 Camaro. Those are both classics. Nice, nice, nice. Styling of car ever. Are just unbelievably gorgeous. And to think that they put that out at that time, even, you think back to those days, and the 63, 67, that body style was pretty out there. And then the following one too, the 68 through 82 is pretty wild looking too. A lot different, but if you think about the time and what cars look like, and then the General Motors put out something like that is pretty cool. When I used to be big, huge Corvette guy, you just used to love the hell out of them. You went to my apartment when I was younger. The whole coffee table was covered in Corvette magazines and Corvette, coffee table books, and I had videos and all the old VHS tapes of Corvette stuff. And I made a trip to the Corvette Museum and the Corvette plant for a tour. I was really into Corvettes. I've still never had one. Yeah, those cars are just beautiful. Beta says your grandpa has a 67 Nova SS. Damn, you guys got a lot of cool cars in the family. Along with the restored 67 Nova. Sweet. I love those two. 72 C10 and 84 Monte Carlo is a cool one. 84 Monte Carlo SS. Yeah, those Monte Carlos, Buicks, Regals, um, what I said, Pontiac Grand Prix, all that stuff, and the old Cutlass. That body style was really cool back in the '80s. Very very versatile, very cool, very good looking cars. They're all basically the same car, all four of them, but nice cars. And I think that they're going to go up in value too. I think they already have kind of. Yeah, pretty much all the Corvettes over the years have been nice. The very first ones I'm not that into. They were a little weird looking, and they were really weak and everything. But you're getting the SS Nova when you turn 18. Oh, sweet. Well then, damn, you know that'll be something to look forward to for sure. Hell yeah. There was a nice Nova cruising around town. We had a little. I put a video up of it too. Little cruise, social distancing cruise thing. There was a pretty nice Nova cruising around town. I wish I'd have gotten better video of some of the cars. I was kind of in the way, and I was trying to do it real quick, and I should have just taken my time and found some better places to set up and get some really good video. But I was also driving in cruise, and I was having a lot of fun driving the car. So I didn't want to. I was kind of trying to make video and do that at the same time, which was probably a bad idea. I should have just done one or the other. Yeah, there's a lot of cool cars over the years. You sit down and really think about it. There's lots of nice, beautiful cars from all the companies have made some really cool stuff, and they've all made some really, like, oh, what the heck were they doing stuff. And pretty much every decade has its cool stuff that's still out there. And I don't know. I just like seeing all the different. I love going to like the cruise thing I went to. I love going to car shows. I love going to car meets and anywhere where there's a lot of cars of different all different kinds of cars, because it's just so much fun to see what everybody thinks is cool and what their taste is. And sometimes you'll see some old stuff that you haven't seen in a really long time, or I've never even seen one of those before, kind of things. That's always cool too. Then there's the people who have the same taste as you, and that's cool. And there's people who have some completely different idea. It's all that's what makes the whole car thing exciting and fun, is everybody has their own kind of deal on what they think is the thing to do or the car to have, or you know Flip flop logic. Do you have anyone try to race you? Yes, occasionally. Surprisingly, I get guys in trucks. Yeah, I get that too, thinking they can take my scat pack. It's not. Other performance car drivers, I don't race though. I have a lot of guys in pickup trucks with like straight pipes and stuff. I don't know if they think they can beat me, but they want to try or whatever, which is fine. I had a guy in an old Chevelle a couple, maybe 3 weekends ago. It was like a 67 Chevelle. It sounded really badass. It was in pretty rough looking shape, his body wise and everything, but he was an older dude, and he was kind of yelling over at me, and then he had to stop and get air in his tires. And anyway, I sort of waited for him up the road. I told him where I was going to be. I never saw him again. But anyway, and yeah, I did get a couple of people like pull up next to me at lights and stuff when I'm in bigger cities. Here in town, we don't really have any lights, so you never really get next to anybody. But I had diesel pickup trucks a lot of times, and some of those are pretty quick. Yeah, I don't really like in town or something. I would never race. If we're out in the middle of nowhere on a highway, I might not so much race, but have a little fun or whatever. We'll just say that. Yeah, a lot of the guys around here, like if I'm getting gas in the Challenger, I'll always have almost every single time someone will come around the corner or whatever, and they'll have to show me how fast their truck is or let me hear it or whatever. That's okay. That's just curious. What are a few of your favorite cars of all time or like current? Obviously, Challenger, Skypack, Challenger Hellcat, two of my favorites of all time. Old Corvettes, new Corvettes. I love El Caminos. I love old pickup trucks. Um, I love old Impalas, and God, there's so many cars. I like a lot of cars. So I think my favorite body style on a car ever maybe is like the first generation Chargers and Barracudas. The like 66 and 67 Charger, I think, is like one of the most beautiful cars ever made. The ones right after that were also gorgeous, but I really like those first couple of years with the fastback window in the back and everything. Beautiful car. Really like those. That's something I'd love to get a hold of one someday. Yeah, the mid 60s Vats and the 70s Vats, current Vats, all the Dodge Chargers, and just so many things, really, man. I've got like if I had like unlimited funds and I could in an unlimited garage space, I'd have so many cars it would be ridiculous. It'd be hard to narrow it down to like 15 or something. Yeah, flip flop. I get the same thing whenever, especially if I'm driving past, like this or whatever, or if I'm parked somewhere getting gas, washing the car, anything like that. They got to put on a little show sometimes. I'm sure it's just because they, whatever. That's fine. The intimidation is real. Yeah, I get a lot, and just I don't know. Oh, your grandma's trying to get a first gen Charger. Yeah, they're beautiful. It's like another one of those cars. It's like, wow, that's really cool, especially for its time and just really for all time. It's just a beautiful car. But I think a lot of people they think, oh, look, he just bought a fast car. He's not as cool as me because I built mine or whatever, which is fine. I respect that too, and I'd like to do the same thing. But I also respect, cars and mine's not totally just, I've done a few things to it, but um, like that guy in the old Chevelle, I think he wanted to prove a point that his old car could beat me. And I've gotten people around town who have fairly fast cars or whatever. They get almost a little bit. I mean, they're semi cool about it, but they're kind of angry in a way too. Like, oh, I'd like to get my old Camaro out and kick your ass and whatever. Okay, let's do it. Bring it out. But they never show up, so I don't know. I mean, I know some of those old cars can be made to be really fast, but even in perfect like stock form when they came out in the 60s, the muscle cars, none of them were super fast compared to a lot of today's stuff. Beta says someday you're going to have either a Model 3 Performance or a 2001 Saab 9 3. I don't know much about Saabs. I drove a guy's once because he had one. I thought it was cool looking, and I really wanted to. He let me drive it around, which I thought was cool, but I don't know a damn thing about them. Model 3 Performance is super cool and fast, and they're good. They're good cars. It's a totally the whole the Tesla thing is such a different experience when you go to punch it and it launches perfectly and there's instant torque. It's like being shot out of a slingshot. it's pretty cool. It's a different. It's different than the whole muscle car thing. You don't. It's not as dramatic. There's not all the noise and drama, but it's a different kind of fun for sure. They're both equally fun, but it's totally. It's like a different experience. It's more like a roller coaster ride or carnival ride or something. Hey, Connor Strunk, what's up? Have you ever had a Dodge? I have a Dodge now. Is there a punchline? I have a Dodge Challenger Scat Pack. How's it going, Connor? What you doing? Where you at? Where you from? Flip Flop Logic. I've had my Challenger since September of 2017. And yeah, the where I get in and out of the car, it's worn. It's worn right there. Part of it is because I wear this stupid wallet with a chain, which I probably need to not do, and it wears the leather out right there. Yep, I got wear right there in that same spot. Beta, you had a 2001 93 convertible. Okay, but it needed a transmission. That's the thing about some of those European cars. Like when things start going wrong, it's really it can be hard to get the parts, and they can be expensive, and there's not a lot of people that work on them. And they're cool cars, but sometimes they can be a little bit of trouble when things finally start to go wrong with them. Connor says you want to get a 1998 Dodge or Lincoln Navigator or Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat wide body. Well, hell yeah. I want to die. That's the car for me, is the Challenger SRT wide body, the Hellcat wide body. I have a 2018 Dodge Challenger Scat Pack, which I love. Definitely would like to move up to the next level though with the Hellcat, but we'll see. You're in Kearns, Utah, but you're from Pennsylvania. Cool. I'll use was a 6-speed top. Cool, man. Yeah, I like a lot of the. I mean, there's a lot of European cars that are really cool, but worries me a little bit. And you see a lot of good deals on used. You like BMWs, Mercedes, and stuff. And I think the reason there's so many good deals on them is because the repairs and maintenance costs on them is really high. And when that starts to happen, those people want to get rid of them. Connor Strunk says, nice, love challenge. Yeah, check out my channel, Connor. I got a bunch of videos with my Challenger in it. It's pretty much what the whole channel is about. Yeah, Challenger, I think it's the best looking car made right now, and it's my favorite car right now, and probably will be forever. And I just love it. I mean, I fell in love with them, and I had to get one. It took a long time and a lot of hoping, and yeah, but it's been well worth it, and I don't regret any of it, and it was worth every penny, and it was worth waiting for it to come from the factory. But a special order, had to wait. It was totally worth the wait. It was agonizing wait, but it was worth it. I just wear a Ford hat. I don't. Hey, Chad, what's up? Good to see ya. Chad's in the house. Okay, this guy, he's funny now, so I got the pressure on him to be funny, but yeah, Beta, every BMW, yeah, it's true. They're good cars, but the reason that the Gauge Custer looks like Christmas lights, because once they get stuff starts to go wrong, people can't afford to get them fixed. They're too damn expensive to fix, so they just let it go. So then pretty soon everything's wrong. I've heard, brake jobs and stuff on them are just outrageous. And I know that I was at a brake place once getting some work done on my ex-girlfriend's car, and this kid came in. He was like 18, 19-ish probably, and he was all proud of himself. He just got a used Mercedes something or another. I don't know what it was, but pretty good looking car. But he's up there talking to the guy because it needed brakes, and the dude at the brake shop said, first of all, I can't even work on it. And I don't remember the whole story, but it's, he sent him to probably touch, and it's just to warn you, that's going to be like, I don't remember what the price was, but it's going to be up there in the thousands of dollars to get your brakes done. And the kid, you can just see the kid's like whole body language really just went from super proud of this new Mercedes to, oh shit, kind of thing, Connor, I usually do these on Sunday nights, and then I try to throw some time ones in now and again. So I just kind of decided to do this kind kind of spur of the moment today and just kind of come on. This morning I was sitting around watching other videos and thought I should probably do a live stream, so I set it up and did it. But yeah, it's not a daily thing, but it could maybe be. I don't know. It should turn into a daily thing. Chad Kempster, you'll be here all morning. All right. BMW stands for Big Mucho Wallet. Yeah. Like boat stands for, what is it? Break out another 20 or something, whatever it says. Is it, what does the boat stand for? But break out another, I forget. It's about spending a lot of money on stuff. Well, supposedly Dodges are supposed to be money pits, and they're the most expensive, one of the most expensive vehicles to maintain, but I haven't had that issue yet too much. I'm going to knock on the wood right here. Hopefully I didn't curse myself by saying that. Yeah, break out another 1,000. That's what it is. My brain's not firing on all cylinders yet. I've only had 20 cups of coffee this morning. I don't know much about the Dodge Neons at all, really, except I mean, my judgment on them is I still see a lot of them on the road, so they must not have been too bad. That's always the way I like kind of measure things on old cars or older or cars I don't really know much about and they're not really around anymore. If you still see a lot of them driving around, I just assume they must have been okay or they wouldn't be that many driving around still. Not exactly scientific opinion there, but it's kind of like when I worked at the auto parts place. I noticed that Ford sells more trucks than anybody, but as far as people coming in and needing repair parts for their vehicles, for their pickups, it was like 8 out of 10 of them were Chevrolets. So I don't know if that's scientific proof of anything or not, but yeah, Dodge Neon SRT. Hey, Flip Flop, thanks a lot. Thanks for coming in. I keep mispronouncing your name, Flip Flop. Thank you very much. Appreciate that earlier, and thanks for coming in, and thanks for the great conversation. That was awesome. Take care, and see you again soon, I hope, man. Be safe about everything. There goes my phone again. See who's trying to contact me here. He's always got to check to make sure it's not one of my kids or something. Nope. Don't think so. Chad, you've been in one Chevette and one the Citation. I almost forgot about that car. In the last 6 months, they're making a comeback. I remember. I don't want to admit this, but I remember being a kid, and for some reason, I thought the Citation was kind of cool looking in a way. I think it's that fastback look. I always like cars with that. I still do. Something about that. I was just telling those guys earlier about the 66, 67 Charger. I think is one of the most beautiful cars ever because of the fastback. So don't tell anybody. But when I was like really little, I thought that a Citation was a good looking car. There goes all my subscriptions. Is that the guy who thought Citations were cool? Unsubscribe. My grandma had a Chevette. It was a diesel Chevette. And then I had a friend who had a Chevette when I was back in the band days and all that. When I was in the band, and he was actually he was a guitar player on band, but he had a Chevette. Of course, he called it his vet, and he got in so much trouble in that thing. He had so many tickets, and he was like a habitual traffic offender kind of guy. Yeah, the early Barracudas, and the Charger were very similar, but I think I like the Charger a little bit better. The 66, 67, and then the next Charger down the line was awesome too. But I really like those first ones with the big fastback, the big glass in the back, and it's a big heavy car though. That's what I was looking at there. I was watching. Is it Uncle Tony's Garage? I think that's what it's called. It's a guy who works on old Mopars and stuff, and he was showing off his. I think it was a '66 Charger, and it just I've always loved those cars. And so after I watched this video the other day, I was scrolling through Car Gurus and a couple other places looking at what 66, 67 Chargers go for. They're not cheap. Even crappy ones are pretty expensive. Beta, for some reason, you've become obsessed with Fieros, but just the regular ones, not the. I had a Fiero GT once for a few months. It was a 88, I think it was. The was a 2.8 liter V6 in it, I think, and a little fastback look to the back, and um, yeah, it was a pretty rough car. It handled really well, but boy, it was really slow. It seemed like it was really slow. It handled like a little go kart though, which was kind of fun. Oh yeah, I think the Dodge Charger Police Interceptors look cool, and it'd be neat to have a used one. It'd be kind of cool. They're not really fast enough, but yeah, I did. Trying to remember, I kind of bought that Fiero on a like. If you'd told me that morning I was going to buy a Fiero that day, I would have never dreamed. But I was looking at some other cars to buy. I was looking at a. I've told this story on here before, but I was looking at a old Ford, like a 62 or something, 61, see, Ford unibody pickup, which was in really nice shape. But there was this stupid Fiero sitting there, and they were both about the same price. I ended up purchasing this Fiero just kind of out of the blue. I had the cash in my pocket, and I bought it, and then I got it home, and I was like, "What did I just do?" And anyway, I did a little bit of body work and fixed it up just a tiny bit and got it ready. And then some other guy luckily bought it from me for just I think a little bit more than what I paid for it. I didn't like make any money off of it. I probably spent more fixing it up a little bit than I made, but I managed to get rid of the car after a few months because it was like I don't even know why I bought that, but it was kind of a fun car. It was kind of a weird thing to buy, but I just did it. Yeah, get the old any of the old police cars and kind of leave them looking like that. You scare the hell out of people. Go park them. Go park them in areas where it looks like you're waiting for speeders. Watch everybody slow down. Yeah. But the only thing about the old police cars is how many drunk people have probably thrown up in them, and uh, God knows what else has happened in there. Blood and yep, if someone about a Colorado State Patrol charges. I see a lot of cars like that. You'll see it coming at you on the highway or parked to somewhere at an intersection. It's like, oh shit, cop! And if you get there, oh, it's not a cop. You can't fool them too much with the Crown Vics and the old Caprices anymore because no police departments haven't used those in quite a while, so they're not as easy to fool people with now. You got to go to the Charger. Of course, now a lot of police departments are using like um, Ford Explorers and a lot of pickup. Like our department here is all pickup trucks. So you drift them. You can drift them out of the school. Huh? Yeah, Ford Taurus. I guess I have seen a couple Tauruses. I've seen a lot of departments now that I drive around so much. I'm driving around all of these states here. I see a lot of Explorers, and then a lot of the smaller towns and counties and stuff are using actually all three companies. I see Dodge, Chevy, and Ford pickup trucks being used a lot, which I guess kind of makes sense. I mean, in these small rural areas, it's good to have the truck with the four by four and all that because a lot of times they got to drive out of town out into the farm areas and that kind of thing. So I think this was the longest stream I've ever done. I thought it was going to be the shortest. It's been 2.5 hours. Yeah, yeah, I know all the time. The vehicles I use at work, we don't shut them off for anything basically, unless we're getting out to go in a store or something. But we leave them running all day. We like waiting for people and all that stuff in front of places, just basically waiting on them to show up. Car's supposed to be running. We They don't even want us to shut them off when we get gas, which I think is dangerous from what I understand. But we're supposed to leave them running for that, so I do. They very rarely they start up, and you might go a 15-hour shift and never shut that thing off. No, no, I'm not a cop. My father just retired. He was a cop for 34 years. So homicide detective and a narcotics detective and chief of police. And he's been on several TV shows. He's on Homicide Hunter several times, and then on a show called Snapped, which is about women who freak out and kill people, and I think some other shows too. He has a YouTube channel if you want to check it out, but he's trying to do a little bit of a like prepare people to be a cop kind of channel, like if you want to be a cop to watch his channel kind of thing. So far, he's not getting a lot of views, but I think it just takes some time for it to hook up and get into the algorithm and get suggested to people. I hope it does well. I need to go edit a video for him. He makes the videos, I edit them and get them on YouTube for him. Oh, I'm falling asleep. I don't know why. I slept pretty good last night for once. I had a nice little sleep. Wonder what the temperature is outside now. I was hoping it'd warm up enough for me to do my little project, but from what I understand, it's not going to get above about 50 today. It's 30. Oh, it's 52. Well, it's not too bad. I could do 52. Chad, you're going to go get the battery out of your bike since it's not snowing. Later, Joey. Take care, man. Take care, Chad. Have a good one. Thanks for coming in and entertaining us as always. I think I'm going to roll out of here too, guys. We just went 2 hours and 30 minutes, so that's a pretty good little stream. That's an hour longer than I usually go. So I think we'll roll out of here and wrap this thing up for the day. I got to probably get a couple other things done today, I suppose, at some point. I've been having a super lazy day. I think I guess I kind of deserve it a little bit. I've been working my butt off for a few days. So get my thoughts together here and go take care of some business that I need to take care of. And yeah, girlfriend will be home in like about 4 hours, 4.5 hours. So I better get a couple things done so she doesn't come home and go, "What have you done all day?" So I'll see you guys later. I appreciate everyone for coming in, and guys, please support the channel. Watch my videos if you're new. Check out Joeysixtysix channel, and if you like Challengers or anything about cars, check it out, and give me a thumbs up and all that good stuff, and subscribe. And I really appreciate it if you do that. And I think you won't regret it. It's getting some pretty good stuff on there sometimes. Take care, guys. Appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much, guys.